effective self-defense and the concealed carry lifestyle, look for the official USCCA page on Facebook. Find the page, click the like button, and start learning all you can about becoming a responsibly armed American. And remember to share these great tips with all your other Facebook friends. The USCCA on Facebook, a great source for information on personal safety and so much more.
When seconds count, the police are minutes away, which means if your family's in danger, you'll become their first line of defense. Can you say with 100% confidence that you'll know what to do? What about the gun laws in your state? Do you know them? One wrong move and you'll be the one handcuffed in the back of a squad car. That's why hundreds of thousands of responsibly armed Americans rely on Concealed Carry Magazine for the latest on ever-changing gun laws and life-saving training drills. You'll get unbiased gun and gear reviews and read true stories from real people who carry every day. There's even a quarterly women's section with training and information designed specifically for the female shooter. This is important, which is why when you activate your subscription, you'll get 4 free chances to win a new gun. Just go to oneof4guns.com. That's the number 1 of the number 4guns.com right now to start your subscription and claim the chance to win the free gun of your dreams.
The Blue Line Podcast is now back.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Touching real quick on the USCCA here. Anybody that's listening that actually has a firearm that carries daily, like both Devin and I both do, very strong Second Amendment, advocates and whatever. But I recommend checking out USCCA. Firearms insurance. You rent a home, you got renter's insurance. You drive a car, you got car insurance. You got a family, you got life insurance. You carry a gun, you get gun insurance, and it's not expensive at all. It's very cheap for it, and it covers your ass. If you have to use your firearm in a self-defense manner, never shot anybody, even those that aren't in law enforcement, just, regular civilians, you carry, and especially in Wisconsin. I mean, it's one of the biggest states up here that advocate for, open carry and concealed carry. And highly recommend checking them out, USCCA. Great company. They're right here in West Bend, actually. And these guys are just phenomenal. They really take care of you. And like I said, the insurance is cheap, and it's good to have. Hopefully, I will never have to use it. But if I do, I know that I'm covered. And they cover everything from if you do get arrested for whatever reason, they cover your bail. They bail you out. You got a team of lawyers. I mean, anybody that has the USCCA that has had to use the fire, that has shot somebody and was arrested for whatever the case is, different states, they've never been found guilty of anything, and charges are always dropped. So I mean, these guys are fantastic. It's great to have. So just want to touch on that. I highly recommend it. But talking about the law enforcement suicides outnumbering the line of duty deaths here, this was a pretty touchy topic. I kind of wanted to hit on, and I mean, just because you see a lot of law enforcement guys, you see stories of they're found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound in their squad, or something like that, and it's you never know what's going on in their life and the shit that they're taking on daily. And I mean, even for correction officers, it's the same thing. I mean, I see all the time on Facebook, certain officer was, found dead in their house, and it was parent suicide. I mean, these are tough jobs that we have, very tough jobs. And I mean, some prisons and jails are worse than others, and some there's a, walk in the park. But I mean, it's either way. I mean, we're a target from inmates, or we're a target in public. And it's, that's just the society that we live in. Suicides have left more law enforcement officers, including correctional officers, dead last year than all line of duty deaths combined. Needless to say, this is a jarring statistic that continues to plague first responders, but garners little attention, especially if your loved one falls into this category. A new study by the Ruderman Family Foundation works for the rights of people with disabilities. They looked at depression, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and other issues affecting first responders, and the rates of suicide in departments nationwide. According to the U.S. Today, the group found that while suicide has been an ingrained issue for years, very little has been done to address it, even though first responders have PTSD and depression at a level 5 times that of civilians. And that's not even talking about just police and correctional officers, our military, firefighters, EMTs, paramedics. I mean, I worked in EMS for almost 11 years, and I have seen some shit that civilians have never seen. I've had 4 people in my care die in front of me and lost 4 people. And I mean, totally not my fault. We did what we had to do. I mean, it was the circumstances, and you do what you can. And I mean, it really messes with you. It gets to you, and through the help of, friends and family and stuff. I mean, it's got through it, and, it's been a great journey ever since, but I mean, it's a real deal. It really does hit home, talking about this. And last year, just some numbers here, over 140 officers committed suicide. These tragedies outnumber line duty deaths, which, according to the Officer Down Memorial page, list 135. 2017 line duty deaths include everything from being fatally shot, stabbed, drowning, heart attack, or dying in a car accident while on the job. One of the co-authors of the study said the numbers of suicide are extremely underreported. While other more high-profile deaths making headlines, there were 46 officers who died after being fatally shot on the job in 2017. That is nearly 67% less than the numbers of suicides.
I don't think there's enough conversation about this.
No, there's not. There really isn't.
Yeah, people underestimate what police officers go through. Not only police officers, like we said, anyone in law enforcement, first response.
Yeah, all first responders. I mean, we're all on the same team. We're all doing something that we're not. Devin and I don't go to McDonald's and open McDonald's and work till 2 p.m. and demand $15 an hour.
No.
I mean, we have like really serious jobs. And I mean, there's correctional officers and deputies that were former military and spent tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, Desert Storm veterans. I mean, like, they've seen some shit. They've seen their buddies die.
Yeah. I think people underestimate what these jobs entail and what they require as a person and what they take from you. I like to feel that
Sleep is one of them. They take a lot of sleep.
God, sleep. Yeah. I don't sleep.
What is that?
I'm currently on an overload of caffeine. I drink my body weight in caffeine often, and am short or close to using an IV of caffeine if I keep this up.
I slam Monsters a lot, and my heart rate goes to like 200.
So that being said, the health of law enforcement officers and first responders is not good as well. It can be pretty stressful. I was so excited to be in law enforcement and start my journey, and I was so excited to be a badass and protect people and be this hero. But when I started at the jail, I started to realize that this is not what I expected it to be. Not that it has changed my opinion, but it was definitely an eye-opener for me to realize that I needed to reach out and to be confident in who I am and to be confident and humble in talking about what I go through and what I'm experiencing every day, and to really just vocalize. Silence can be deadly, and if you don't accept what you're going through and you don't accept what you're facing each day, and you're afraid to talk about it, I mean, that's where suicides come in. That's where, the death toll goes up. And it's heartbreaking to see people emotionally invest themselves in this job so much that it tears them apart. I've seen officers just in my short time here just be destroyed and become different people and lose their personality and who they are.
Oh, yeah.
And the inmates are constantly telling me, don't lose who you are. You're a great person. You're a beautiful person. You have this personality. And at first, when they told me this, I was like, whatever. Like, shut up. Don't tell me how to do my job.
Shut up, Jerome. You're going to go to SEG.
Yeah. I'm going to be a badass, and I'm going to come in here and tell y'all to shut up. And they're just like, no, like, you have this effective way of being, but you're cool, and you're nice, and you're sweet, and just don't lose who you are. And the truth is they're right.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I cannot lose who I am because I'm here for a purpose, and nothing's going to destroy that. I need, you just got to stay strong. So there's a lot of channels, a lot of help out there for police officers and correctional officers, etc.
That's right.
So it's good to just remember for civilians out there that police officers are not only who they show on the outside, but they are people too. And they are taking all of those things that you never have to see and taking them in, and so that you don't have to.
Yeah.
And so you think that police officers are terrible and they're shooting citizens, but you don't know the choice that they had to go through and the choice that they had to make to be in that position. Mind you, there are people who are absolutely absurd and lose their mind, but that's human nature. And, that's where humanity comes in. So,
which, speaking of that, real quick, I'm going to do a quick plug here. Officer Involved Project. Patrick is a friend of the show. He sent us a DVD documentary called Officer Involved, and it depicts what happens after the shooting. Every time you see it on the news, it's police officer shoots, air quotes here, unarmed man. Turns out he had like a revolver or a gun or a knife or whatever the case is, or media only shows parts of the body cam footage where you see a guy just running towards the cop and he was like, stop, and then he, unloads on him. But what they don't see is the guy had a knife and he just killed his wife and stabbed his 4-year-old daughter 32 times in the chest, and now is walking towards the cop, and the cop has drawn his gun saying, stop, get back, get down, get back. Multiple verbal commands, and he has to pull the trigger. You have to stop the threat, and he kills him. What this documentary is talking about what happens beyond the shoot, what goes on after. And I haven't watched it yet. Devin and I are going to do a watch party. We're going to eventually have Patrick on as a guest, and we're going to talk about the DVD. But from what I've seen in previews of it, I mean, it's amazing. It's touching. It's heartbreaking, and it really shows the human side as to what we all are in this field. I mean, after all, the amount of shit that we go through every day, we're still human. We still want to go home every night. We still got a family to go to, a dog to see, or chickens.
My chickens. Don't forget my chickens.
That's right.
I've never seen an animal more excited than my chickens when I get outside. Right. They're like, oh my God.
You didn't eat us yet. Yay!
This is who feeds us, and she hasn't eaten us. Yeah, so don't eat chickens. It's bad. They're cute and happy. But little do our friends know, we're going to have a watch party, and we're going to make them come over thinking they're coming over to rage and drink, and we're going to sit down and watch a sad movie. But it'll be good to get some perspective from some people that we know, some people that we work with.
Absolutely.
We'll kind of get some comments, and we will put them on the show and kind of let you know how everyone felt about it. So
it's a big project, and I really want to hit that, right on there. Talking about some avenues, though, for help in instance here. Copline.org, www.copline.org. You can check that out, or call them at 1-800-267-5463. Copline is an operational 24 hours a day, 7 days a week call center, which will be answered by a peer support counselor. All calls and emails are strictly 100% confidential.
And on the corrections side, there's a specific, it's called Safe Call, serving the lives of those who protect us. That's good. It's also a 24-hour hotline, 206-459-3020. And they talk about, PTSD, depression, suicide, divorce. Divorce is huge in law
Oh my
enforcement.
God.
I mean, we were just talking about it earlier. We don't sleep. We
Yeah.
work odd amount of hours.